This is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude. And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Now, obviously the elephant in the room, I'll address it now, get it out of the way, and I'm not going to bring it up again, at least in the near future. Days Gone came out today, and you might be wondering why I'm not playing it. Well, first of all, I was very smart about this one, alright? Instead of rushing to pre-order this game digitally, which I've done with a few games and ended up getting burnt, I was skeptical about Days Gone. A few reasons. Number one, because the game had been delayed a bunch of times, and that's usually not a good sign, alright? Number two, because a lot of people who had seen the game early and or played the game on the earlier side, not early release versions, but actually just like pre-release builds, had basically said the game didn't seem very good. That it seemed like, not that it was bad, but that basically the game wasn't anything to write home about. That it was kind of uninspired. It felt like a bunch of other games kind of mishmashed together. And so, I basically played it by ear, and I did not purposely pre-order the game to see what was going to happen. Alright, now I said all week I was going to play it today, and it was funny because originally I said I was going to play it all day today, and then when all of a sudden negative reviews started coming out about the game, I take that back, not negative reviews, but basically not glowing reviews for a Sony exclusive. The reviews were basically coming out saying the game's okay, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, it's alright, it's not amazing, it's not a game you must play, but at the same time, if you're looking for a good kind of open world game with some zombies in it, it's good, if that's what you want, but it's a lot of things you've done in other games, and you're not going to find yourself too riveted by it, it's okay, it's just okay. So, all these reviews started coming out this week, which they started, I'd say, probably around Tuesday, Wednesday. A bunch of people started messaging me saying, Phil, are you still going to play Days Gone? Because this seems like a game that actually is not very interesting, and in particular, from what reviewers are saying, the game gets kind of boring once you get a few hours into it, and you get more to the repetitive kind of stuff, wandering this open world that you've done in every other open world game, the looting, the base takeovers, etc., and it seems like it will not be a very fun game for streaming. Like, maybe if you play the game yourself, it's alright, but for streaming, it's not going to be very riveting or entertaining to your viewing audience.
I want to keep doing this for a living. I love it. I have a passion for it. You just have to be aware. You have to look at the people who are out there, and you really have to judge for yourself who's worth your time. And by the way, subsequently with that, who's worth your investment, because these people are constantly always accepting things like cheers and subs and tips. And if you're giving it to the person who's only streaming to make a buck versus the person who has passion for what they do, what's going to end up happening is the people who have passion for what they do are going to go away, and you're only going to see the shills. You're only going to see the people who get the ginormous sponsorships, the ginormous money, and all the people who have passion for what they do and do it because they love it will go away. And that's what you got to be careful of, guys. Okay?
So you actually going to be playing it or not? And I was very honest. I kept it on the schedule, and I said, well, maybe what I'll do on Friday, then maybe I'll do Days Gone as my first stream, and we'll go back to Mortal Kombat as the second stream, since it seems all the hype right now is around Mortal Kombat or whatever. At least for me, my Mortal Kombat streams have been doing pretty good this week. So the question is, what am I going to do come Friday? So then yesterday, a lot of people got their hands on it early, review copies and the like, and the consensus seemed to be, as of yesterday, the game's not very good. That, it should have been a lot better. The way that they hyped it up for years and years, it doesn't live up to the hype. It's very lackluster. In fact, I personally watched this really in-depth video review. It was about 6-7 minutes long. And basically what the guy said reviewing was very, very simple. He says, this game is a mishmash of things you've done before. If you like The Last of Us, you'll feel like you've done this third-person shooter gunplay before, especially when you get to the stealth elements where you're trying to do stealth takedowns. If you've played State of Decay 1 or 2, you're going to feel like you've done all the zombie combat before, because it's almost identical. And essentially what this game is a combination of State of Decay with other kind of third-person shooters, alright? Now,
I need a sip.
What I guess the best comparison that you can really make with Days Gone is compare it to Mad Max. Do you guys remember Mad Max? What was it, like 3 years ago at this point or something like that? Mad Max was a game that came out after the hype of the movie had died. So Mad Max, the movie, had come out in the summer, and the Mad Max game came out in September, alright? Mad Max was not a bad game. In fact, I played Mad Max, a full playthrough of Mad Max, and I actually really enjoyed it. However, my viewers did not. I'll be very honest with you. You know, I played the whole game, which was like 30 plus hours. After the first 1 to 2 sessions, people constantly complained about me playing the game. Said, stop playing this game. You should be doing something else. This game is boring. Why are you still playing this game? We keep telling you it's more fun to play than watch. Why are you doing it? And this happened, I'm not even kidding, for about 2 straight weeks as I played the game on and off and balanced it with other stuff, to the point where I was losing my mind because I was like, this sucks, you know, that people are not liking this game for whatever reason. I thought it was a good game. Okay? Now, the bottom line is this. This is a different era, ladies and gentlemen. It is. It's a different era. This is an era where, for me, things are a lot different than they used to be. I don't have a lot of disposable income. I certainly don't have a lot of money to throw at games that are not going to be something that are going to be a good investment for the streams. So I'll give you a perfect example here. A game like Mortal Kombat 11, I know I'm going to get legs on it.
Huh?
Reason being, there's a ton of content, there's a ton of characters in it. I know I'm going to get a couple of weeks of content out of the game before it finally dries up. A game like MLB, and I know that sounds silly, but even a game like MLB that's not so entertaining is a good game for the chill streaming. Because it allows me to do late night streams of a couple hours at a time here or there, and we interact during them, and we wonder, am I going to get a home run? Am I going to get promoted to the next league or whatever? And even though, I'll be honest, it kind of stagnated, I still, at this point, have gotten, 13, 14 hours out of it, and I'm still going. You see what I mean? These are the kind of games that I need to look at, because at this point, I'm a live streamer. And I think what people need to finally realize at this point is that I used to be a Let's Player for YouTube. I'm now a live streamer for Twitch, okay? I've completely made the full conversion. Even though I still record my streams and archive them for YouTube, I'm not a YouTuber anymore. I'm not. I'm 100% not a YouTuber anymore. I am a live streamer. In the last 2 years, I have completely changed over my formula. So essentially what I'm looking to do when I play a game is one of 2 things. Either entertain you and hold your attention enough that you're going to come back to the streams to watch the gameplay, or create a chill stream experience enough that there's enough interactivity that you're going to come back just to interact with me. It's got to be one or the other, or a combination of the 2. Okay?
In this business that I'm in, if I'm not the first to do something, there's a strong chance that I'm not going to get that view and I'm not going to get that business, right? People think I'm like the dumbest person or something. I'm not. I'm actually way more educated and I know way more about business than most people who use fucking YouTube.
So, knowing all this, yesterday while I was out on my day off, and seeing all the reviews coming in and seeing all these people message me saying, gee, are you still going to play Days Gone, since it really looks like a lackluster kind of boring game that doesn't look like it'll be good for streaming, I put up a poll on my Twitter asking, would you like to see me still play Days Gone, or should I skip it and focus on MK11? And then basically rotate in the nighttime chill streams way more earlier than I had planned. Because our original plan was that this whole week, I was going to balance Days Gone with MK11. Alright? But, being that, you know, if I was going to end up skipping Days Gone and it wasn't going to be anything interesting, okay, then what I was going to do is say, alright, forget it. We'll just do MK11 as the main streams for a while, and I'll balance that with the chill stuff. Alright, now eventually I know MK11, you know, it's not going to be as interesting to watch every single day. So probably after about a week or so, I do something else. Maybe I'd play another platforming game to balance in with MK11 until Rage 2 comes out or whatever. We would find something else to do to balance with MK11. So that you guys aren't getting constantly bored or whatever. You see what I mean? We would do something to figure it out during daytime streams. Now the other thing is, it's not to say that I'm never going to play Days Gone. That's not the case here at all. But I'm not going to drop $60 on a game that I play 1 or 2 streams and then you guys are so bored you never want to come back to watch it again. You see what I mean?
Let the green roll in. Give me your money.
It'd be one thing if the game was $20 or $30. And I can pretty much guarantee that in a stream of a premiere of any game, I'm going to probably make enough to cover that kind of cost. But $60 for a game I play once, it just doesn't fly anymore. Okay? It just doesn't. I can't do it. I have to make smart decisions on what games I'm buying and what games I'm streaming because of my situation. Alright? So, I'm not saying I will never play Days Gone. I'm just saying there's no way I'm going to be buying it now. Maybe I wait a week or 2 weeks and all of a sudden Days Gone goes on a half-price discount, which, let's face it, guys, happens all the time. With these games, especially the ones that don't initially sell well or get reviewed well, we see price drops almost frequently now on a lot of these games. And then you could get the game for 50% off within a week or 2. Okay? So if that's the case, then maybe I will pick up the game, you know, in a little bit. We'll see. But I'm not buying this game for $60 when it just seems like a game that's going to be boring for streaming and people are going to get bored really quick. Alright?
No one in this truth is even talking to me anymore, so I'm going to call it a night soon, guys. Sorry, but if people aren't going to pay attention, I'm not going to fucking keep playing.
So I ran this poll last night. Well, actually, I ran it during the day while I was out yesterday. And I full well knew that this poll was not going to be accurate. I knew that going into it. So you might say, well, why did you even run the poll? I was curious to see if there was any interest whatsoever in me skipping Days Gone, or if there would be, like, completely 100% lopsided and everyone's like, no, play it. Because the bottom line is, if the vast majority, like, let's say it was 80-90% landslide, had said, play Days Gone, Phil, I would have said, all right, I'll just do it, I'll bite the bullet anyway. But that's not what happened. The poll ended up being, like, 61, 62% to, like, 35, 36%, something like that. And like I said, I know for a fact that there's fake voting on those polls.
What?
In fact, it was hilarious because I put the poll up, and I'm watching the poll, and I'd say probably within the first hour, there was maybe like 100, 200 votes. Then all of a sudden, it jumps by 400 votes instantly. Gee, I wonder where the 400 votes came from. I'm sure they're legit that they all came in at the same time, right? But this happens every time I do an online poll. There's ways to game the system. All those votes, by the way, came in, play Days Gone. Alright? You wanna know why those votes came in? Because people who don't like me and people who fuck with me want to see me waste $60 on a game that I'm probably going to play once or twice and get nothing out of, and now I got to make a tough decision. Because now I've played the game for 8 hours, and there's people who want to see me continue the game, and everyone knows the game's probably around 30 hours long, so you're talking, you know, at least 5-6 major streams, okay? So now I gotta make this tough decision. Gee, do I keep playing the game and basically have no one show up to streams and no one contribute because it's a game that's boring and no one likes it and everyone will complain that I'm still playing it? But if I drop the game, now I've got a dedicated group of people who like this playthrough and are gonna be pissed at me because I dropped it and gave in to pressure from people on the stream. See what I mean? It's like a lose-lose situation if I had played Days Gone, because I was gonna be damned if I do, damned if I don't. And the people who did the troll voting know that.
What? That's the definition of a drama queen, seriously. Well, that's a great theory, Phil, but where's your evidence? Oh, I don't need evidence. I just made it, you know, it's just what I believe. Spoiler alert. People that believe those kind of conspiracies are morons.
They fucking know that. And that's why they did that. They've seen that this week my streams of Mortal Kombat 11 have gotten great attendance, and that the more I play it, the more the attendance is building. I'll be honest, I'm not great at Mortal Kombat 11. I actually said this on Twitter. I know I'm bad at it. I am used to fighting games where when you do a combo, it's called a 2-in-1 cancel. Meaning, you do one, you press a button, then you press a second button, and then, depending on if they hit, you can then do a special move. It's like 1, 2, 3. In this game, the combos are dial-a-combos. Meaning the combos come out no matter what if you just press buttons in sequence. That's not what I'm used to in Street Fighter. I'm not good at dial-a-combo games like Injustice and this. I'm not. I never have been. I enjoy them. I love playing them. I think they look great. They can play great at a high level if you're good at them. I'm not good at them. I know that. But I'm not playing Mortal Kombat 11 to be a competitive player. I'm playing it as a fan of the series and a fan of the genre of fighting games, and knowing there's a lot of fun content in this game. That's why I'm playing it as a fan, not as a pro. Okay?
No, I cannot pick up any controller and play any game at a professional level.
So that being said, I know people have been checking out the Mortal Kombat 11 streams for the 2 days that I played the game. The attendance has been high. Contributions have been good. Have they been, oh my god, blowing me away? No. At the same time, they've been good. So, people are seeing that and saying, gee, now Phil drops MK11 to playing this game that's lackluster and all reviewers are saying isn't so good, and we know within a stream or two he'll be bored, or he won't be bored, but his viewers will be bored. Let's do it. Let's get him locked into this game. Let's fucking do it, right?
Oh my god!
Try to do this a little bit.
Oh god!
So in reality, the reason I ran the poll was not to go by the 100% results of the poll, which, by the way, I never do. I don't know why people expected that I would have. I never do that. I use polls to gauge public interest. And from what I saw in the poll, there's a group of people who really like my MK11 stuff and want to see me keep doing it, rather than just stop doing it or slow down doing it to play a game that doesn't look like it's very good. Alright? And that's what I got from the poll. If that, like I said, if that poll had been skewed massively, 80-90% play Days Gone and like 10% play MK11, I would have known it was the opposite. But the truth of the matter is that's not what happened. It was more than likely, if you factor out the, you know, like I said, 400 or so troll votes that were put in there, it's probably about 50-50. Where people just don't, you know, they don't know. A lot of people, you know, are still kind of in that mindset that we're still in 2012. And I hate to say that, but a lot of people remember the old Phil, the old days of YouTube, where I made a ton of money. Alright, I did. I made a ton of money on everything. No matter what game I played, I raked in the dough because ad revenue on YouTube, it was just flowing like a river, okay? And so I could afford to buy every single game. It didn't matter if the game was good, if the game was bad, if the game was hyped, if the game was dead, if the game had great reviews, if the game had terrible reviews. It didn't matter what game it was. If I played it, people watched, and I made a bunch of money on it, and because I made a bunch of money, I could then in turn afford to buy every game. See what I mean? That was a different era, guys. That was like 7 years ago. You know, times have dramatically changed from the way things used to be. And so some people are like, man, I don't know if Days Gone's any good. I'm waiting to see Phil play it. And based on Phil's playthrough, I'll determine whether or not I can buy the game. Sorry, guys, that's not going to be the situation anymore. You know, it's just not. I'm not in a position where I can afford that. I cannot afford to buy games, to play them once, have everyone be bored, and then I got to move on. All right, I just can't do it anymore. So, you know, we're at a point in my situation where, you know, that's the deal. And I hope that you guys understand that. And if you don't understand that, I apologize that you can't, and you don't yet. I mean, we haven't been in that situation since 2015. I mean, it's been about 4 years now that I've been in a situation where I don't have unlimited funds. I can't just buy everything. I can't drop tons of money on stuff that's not kind of a guaranteed investment. And it's funny because, you know, a lot of people gave me shit when I bought the PSVR a few years ago. But the PSVR turned into being, you know, being pretty good for when I got it. And the coverage that I did at the launch, it was definitely worth the investment. Now, after that, I never used the damn thing again. Okay? See what I mean? So that being said, guys, I apologize to those who voted, and maybe you're angry that I did a poll on Twitter. I didn't go by the results of the vote.
That's right. This is the United States of Phil. I am the supreme being. I make the rules, and what I say goes. This is not a place for you to stand on your soapbox and complain about censorship and freedom of speech, because the bottom line is you don't have freedom of speech. This is my land.
I wasn't planning on doing that anyway. It was only if there was an extreme case where I saw, oh my god, the poll's so skewed, that I would have went and played Days Gone regardless. But, you know, I do it for a reason. I've been here over 10 years doing what I do. I know how to take feedback from polling and the like, and I know that there's a trolling element that fucks with me every time I do a poll. And I also know how to identify the trolling element. Like I said, 400 votes that showed up instantly, which is hilarious bullshit. Like, I'm that stupid to think that 400 people clicked the vote at the same time, right? You know, so I've been around the block, and I know what's going on, and I made the executive decision. I'm not playing Days Gone. However, like I said, all right, that doesn't mean that I won't ever play it. If it ends up being on a discount or whatever, maybe I would play it. So, I think I've now answered all of your concerns, right? I think. At this point, you kind of understand what's going on.
Apparently, I just received a $1,000 tip. Is that real? It's not legit. It's not.
Now, just to answer the elephant in the room, as you can see, guys, with the subs, I am still tracking monthly subs, but I've removed the whole out of 600 deal with the subs goal. Why? Well, it's very simple. Because earlier this month, subs were way sky high. I think at one point we were above 550 subs, because I was playing Sekiro. One of the hottest games of the year, super hyped. People loved watching me play it, and people were subbed and hyped for it, okay? Then when Sekiro ended, all the hype ended, and especially because I was out of the state, not streaming for a week, a lot of the subs fell off, and basically no one kind of resubbed. You know, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I like having a higher number of subs because I feel that you get a lot of benefits from being a sub and the like. But I can't make people resub. I just can't. You know, it's up to people's choice whether they want to sub to the channel or not, and what if they feel like the benefits they're getting are worth it or not. And I've done everything I can this month to make it better. I added a bunch of new emotes for you guys to kind of have incentive to subscribe this month and everything. But for whatever reason, a bunch of people didn't resub. All right, and it is what it is. So, you know, what I said, we were going to do a monthly goal. We had a monthly goal set up for 600 subs, and if we hit that monthly goal, I was going to do a viewer's choice event. This was going to be the first time ever that the public, every person, was going to be able to nominate and vote on games for a viewer's choice special event. All right, that was going to be, a special playthrough. Okay, however, it didn't work out. It looks to me, from what I've seen, it seems to me that's not an event you guys are interested in, you know? And it's hilarious because it's always the vocal minority, guys, because in the previous times that I used to do these kind of events, all right, in previous times where I used to do these events, it was patron's choice. So you would have to be a patron in order to nominate and vote on games, and then the patrons would nominate and vote a game. It would win. I would go to play it. People would complain. Oh, man, that's not a game that the common viewer wants to see. Why did the patrons vote for this weird game that's, not anything that we would have wanted? If only Phil would do a public poll instead of just the patrons, this would allow him to actually get a game that everyone wants to see, and he should do it publicly, but he doesn't. He always does patrons' choice. So this month I said, okay, forget patrons' choice. We're going to do viewers' choice, and we got way low subs. So if anything, what that tells me is that it's just bullshit. It's people whining for the sake of whining. It's not people who actually were interested in subbing to actually make the event happen and then participate in it. It was just whiners who didn't want to see me be successful and didn't see patron support working and everything. The same group of people who complain about everything I fucking do. So, the vocal minority, right? Oh, wham, we want a public event. Okay, I'll do a public event. Well, we're not going to sub for that. Well, then forget it. Why did I bother, right?
I don't know what's going on. Listen, here's the bottom line, and I'm tired of it now. No more excuses, all right? So, I've had enough excuses. It just seems to me like people are fucking lazy.
The thing, what I probably should have done is I should have done this month, what I'm going to do next month. So I'm going to announce it early. For the month of May, the sub goal is going to be a retrospective event. These events that I've done in the past few months and were incredibly successful. Every time I've done one of these special retrospective streams, people come out, they enjoy nominating and voting on what they want to see on the streams. Or not necessarily voting, it's just nominating. They usually nominate, oh gee, Phil should watch back this, Phil should watch back that. So if you don't know what a retrospective stream is, it's a special marathon event where basically we sit down together, okay, and we sit down together and we watch all my old stuff, okay, together.
Oh, man. Oh.
And it's fun because we get to reminisce about the past. I do behind-the-scenes kind of commentary about the past. A lot of the times I watch my old stuff and I cringe, and I'm like, damn, that was old Phil 10 years ago. Definitely not who I am now. And it's just a lot of fun. It is. It's a lot of fun to go back and re-experience the past. Sometimes it's game playthrough. Sometimes it's vlogging and special series. It's a lot of stuff. Okay? And it's fun because I've been doing this for over 10 years. There's a ridiculous amount of stuff to go back and watch. Okay? So, for the month of May, the sub-goal is going to be, if we hit it, we're going to be doing another retrospective event. Okay? The last 3 that I did were incredibly successful, so I'm going to go back to doing that. Enough with this viewer's choice, because apparently people don't want it. The people who complained about it the most didn't even sub, and they just whined and complained that they wanted it, and then they didn't sub. So, it's just whining people, and I'm not going to waste my time on that stuff anymore. Just being honest, I'm not, okay? So, from now on, we'll do the stuff that works.
The salty tears.
Whiteboard Marker Cheer. He says, didn't you say reviewers were biased? How come you listen to them this time? I didn't listen to one reviewer. I didn't even listen to 2 reviewers. I took the consensus of opinion, not only from reviewers, but people who had been watching other streamers play this game for days.
I'm hypocritical.
Because sadly, as I told you guys, it's not how it used to be. Back in the day, I was able to go to GameStop. I was one of the very first people to play a game, record it, and put those videos up on the internet. And a lot of people looked to me as the guy who was the first guy to cover games to see if the games were good.
Day 1 views, day 1 inflated views, make the money.
Now, due to the fact that game publishers and marketing companies have decided that you need to listen to influencers rather than gamers to determine whether or not you want to play a game, especially because these influencers a lot of the time get paid extra money to play these games early and not say anything negative about them, which I won't even get into because I completely disagree with the practice. People have been playing this game for a week. Days Gone has been being played since last weekend. So people have seen it. People know what it is. There's information about it all over the internet. Not just the mainstream reviewers who may do it wrong, but from even other people who've just been playing it for a while. And all the reports pretty much agreed with each other. This game is not very good. So there you go. U.S. Marine High tipped me $5. He said, if you only get a game based on good reviews, why haven't you played Ace Combat 7 or PC games like Kenshi? Because I don't only get it based on good reviews. That's a lie. That's completely false. It's on a combination of factors, timing, etc. How things are going with me and if I can afford a game or not at a certain period of time. There's all those things that are a factor. And you're just overgeneralizing it, on purpose, by the way, to probably, twist me in a negative light and make me look like a hypocrite when in reality that's not what I do. As I said only about 5 million times, the world is not black and white. It's not. There's not I either do this or I either do that 100% of the time for my entire life. That's not how life works. Things change over time. Like I said, I used to be the guy who could afford to buy every game. I didn't care if it was good or bad, and that way I could cover every release and tell you if it was good or bad, in my opinion. Sadly, I'm not at the liberty to do that anymore. I just can't. I have to pick and choose what's good for a stream. So, to fully answer your question, U.S. Marine, why didn't I play Ace Combat 7 or Kenshi? First of all, I don't even know what the hell Kenshi is. Never heard of it. That's why I didn't play it. I didn't play Ace Combat 7 because I didn't think it would be a good game for streaming. You'd probably watch me fly the plane once. Okay, this is a great gimmick. And after a few hours, say, I don't want to ever see that again. Not riveting for a gameplay stream. I'm looking for things that are going to retain attention over time for gameplay stream viewers, and in addition, things that are going to get me bang for my buck value. When I buy a game now, I'm looking for a game that either is going to be a nice full playthrough that gets a lot of leverage on streams, or ends up being a game that I do a lot of gameplay with chill hanging out kind of interactions with you guys, or both, you know? Not a game that's just a flash in the pan, I play it for 4 hours, it's boring as shit, regardless of the reviews say it's good or not. I'm looking for things that are entertaining for streams. This is not Phil the YouTuber, this is Phil the live streamer. Things have changed, okay?
I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life. And that's my new reality, and I just gotta understand that and live with it.
Shout out to Ace, who cheered. He said, ultimately doing polls for anything will not benefit you because you need to play games that will financially benefit you. Yes and no, I agree there. I'd say, yes, they have to financially benefit me in some way, but at the same time, it also just has to be a stream that's interesting to the viewers. If I'm not or if I'm not entertaining you guys with something interesting, whether it's, again, the game itself or my interactions with you while I'm playing the game, then why am I streaming to begin with? Just turn the fucking stream off, I'll play the game by myself, right? So what's the point?
No one's really talking to me anymore now. So people are taking off for the night.
Well, someone called hashtag Days Gone for Phil tipped me $1. I said, if money is an issue, I'll be even more than glad to buy the deluxe edition for you. Hey, I always accept donations. If anyone actually wants to gift me the deluxe edition of the game, go ahead.
Oh my god. It's terrible.
But I'm going to tell you right now, the way you should do it, buy a code off of Amazon or off of PSN and send me the code via email. Then I'll try Days Gone. Sure. If you want to buy the game and donate it to me for free, do that. But, you know, number one, don't send me money, because if you send me the money, that's taxable income, which is just going to screw me over in the long run. Trust me, I have enough fucking tax issues. And number two, you know, money that you send me and stuff essentially has to go to do important things like pay stuff. You know, I'm not really super interested in playing Days Gone, but if someone buys the game for me and sends me the PSN code, yeah, I'll give it a shot this week. I'm not guaranteeing a full playthrough, but I'd give it a shot at least. If I was sent the game, absolutely. Okay? Animoji tipped me $1. Has complete 100% misconceptions of what Patreon is and is arguing me about Patreon is supposed to be for buying equipment. They have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, and I'm just going to ignore it because this is someone who has sour grapes about Patreon, apparently, and is completely misinformed, and I'm not even going to bother with it. It's a waste of my time.
Oh my god. Over 1,800 milligrams of sodium. 1,800 milligrams of sodium.
Vote Democrat at 123-bit cheers, and I'll send you a copy of PS4 Rainbow Six Siege if you will play it. I mean, if you really want me to, and you send me a free copy, I would play it a few times, I guess. Something you send me that I didn't initially tell you I had any interest in anyway. I'm not going to promise the world. If I give it a shot and I hate it or I'm just not interested in it, I probably will never play it again. So if you actually want to do that, take that risk and buy the game and send it to me, okay. You know, I'd be more than happy to try it at least and give it a shot for a nighttime stream or something, but I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, because someone sent me this game, now I'm going to play it for 40 hours. No, I'm not doing that, okay? Last Rambo cheered. Regardless of stream interaction or participation, if you get a $60 tip per session, would that suffice? Well, let me put it this way, Last Rambo. Yes and no. Yes, if you're talking about covering the cost of a game, okay? So let's say every stream I play a brand new $60 game, and every stream I receive a $60 tip to pay for that game.
Yeah, the problem then is I also need to make other funds to pay everything else. You know, I don't do this for free. Oh,
benefit.
We're disgusting beggar. I never used to be a business. Now I am.
You know, I have to pay my bills. I have to pay for the cost of electricity. I have to pay for the cost of everything behind the scenes. You know, so no, a $60 tip per stream is not enough to say I can play a new game every stream. You see what I'm saying? Even if every stream sent me a new game, you know, I still need to have, you know, contributions to pay for everything else behind the scenes besides just buying new games. So there you go.
Yeah, this is kind of funny. So I literally played Sekiro, start to finish. By the end of the game, I was parrying a bunch of stuff. I beat the final boss faster than 95% of the people who played this game. Sekiro, one of the hardest games of this console generation. Okay? Then I play Mortal Kombat, and I can't do a 3-hit combo with raiding. I can beat the final boss of Sekiro in 10-15 minutes, but I can't do a 3-hit combo with fucking raiding. Obviously, there's something wrong here. Any moment, I can pick up a controller and I can play any game at professional level. I'm good at lying. Snort. What an asshole. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis. Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God I wish I fucking was.